Welcome back to Watch It. In this Watch It, we are looking at input. Previously, in the code that you have been doing up until this point, you have typed in information, hit run, and received output. Now we're going to look at typing up a program, running it, getting our user to look at the question, and then respond and give them output. So it's a little bit different. We are going to be using a new function, and this function is called input. That is going to tell our program that we need something from the user. We're going to scroll down. Here is our first activity. Remember to use the menu option reset if there's anything in here, clean it out, and then begin typing. So we're going to create a variable, name equal, we're using the input function. We are asking the question, what is your name? Then we are printing, using the print function to say hello, put a space after hello in between hello and the quotation mark, put a comma after the quotation, and then put the variable. Hit enter. Now click the run button and you will see on the right side of the screen we have what is your name. We type in a name, we hit enter, and now the program responds with hello Kata. Okay, so in our next activity, it's very important to understand that when you use the input function, that everything that you receive from the user comes back in a string value. Even if you were to ask the user, what is your age? That value would be a string. In this particular activity, I'm going to go ahead and use the Python IDL. You would open the Python IDL, do a file, new, and once it opens, you're going to type in all of the information you need. I have already typed it in, so I have it right here. I've created a variable named age equals, I'm using the input function. I'm asking the question, how old are you? I'm using the print function to say you're only, and that is actually you're only, and then the variable age new equals age plus 10. Then we're going to print out in 10 years, you will be age new. I'm only saving this as a temp file. There's no reason to keep it forever. So I'm just going to name it temp. I can use that over and over again as I work through my activities. So I click File, and I'm going to save it to make sure that I can run it. Now I have some choices. I can either hit the F5 button to run it, or I can go to Run and hit Run Module. That's going to run it. And here we go right here. It says, how old are you? I'm not going to put my real age. I'm going to put the age that I wish I was, 21. I'm going to hit Enter. And notice that I get an error, and it says traceback, most recent call last, age new equals age plus 10. Type error can only concatenate strings, not integers. Remember, concatenation means that you're adding two things together. And so it's not letting me do that, so it's telling me that that is incorrect and I need to fix that. So I'm going to come back over here, and to fix it, we have to do what's called a cast. We need to take the string value that we are given from our user, and we need to change it into or cast it to an integer variable. So right here, it tells us how to fix that. Age equal integer, input, how old are you? So you're going to go back over to your code, to your temp file, And you are going to take this age equal and you are going to put int. And you're going to open your parentheses and then you're going to put a closing parentheses at the end of that. Click save because it will ask you to save it before it allows you to run it. And then hit F5. So now it's running. It says, how old are you? I'm going to put 21. And in 10 years, it should tell me, it says, you're only 21. In 10 years, you will be 31. So we have now taken this and we can add, subtract, multiply, do arithmetic with our input. Before we couldn't, because you cannot take an integer and concatenate it with a string. All right, so now let's scroll down and we're going to look at what if we were to use a float value. So I have already typed up the information for this little project, so I'm going to copy this. Control C. I am going to go back to my temp file. Remember, it's just a temporary file. I can change it as I need to. Control V, I'm pasting in my new information. So I have cost equal int, input, how much does pizza cost, print, pizza costs, and then the cost. So now I'm going to do a file, save, and I'm going to run this again. And it says invalid syntax. What is wrong? Oh, right here. Very, very important to remember this. In Python IDL, it does not automatically close our parentheses for us. When we use the online encoder and we put in an open parentheses, it automatically puts in the closing parentheses. It does not do that in the IDL. So right here, I am missing a closing parentheses. Now if I save it and I do a run, it should work. It says, how much does pizza cost? So I told you to put in $10.99. I hit enter and I get another error. It says value error, invalid literal for integer with base 10, meaning base 10 should be a whole number. I put in a number with a decimal, so I should be using a float number. So I need to cast this. If I want to be able to use integers, I need to cast this to a float. So right here where it says int, I'm going to change that to be a float. I'm going to save it, hit F5, run it again. How much does my pizza cost? I am going to tell it $10.99. Hit enter, and it says pizza costs $10.99. Now it worked. You now are going to answer your check for understanding. And if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'm here to help you.